Hello, I'm Adam Tattlebaum, and welcome to this week's discussion about Parshat Vayishlach. As we are building the practice, I encourage you to look in the comments and see the blessing for sanctifying and elevating this moment, which is studying Torah. And I encourage you to say the words out loud to practice for yourself. Getting into the Parsha, I feel like this is one of the most amazing opening lines so far. And it's one of those lines that we really need to see the Hebrew to appreciate the meaning of the line, to get that full picture. So in the translation in English, it says, "And Jacob sent messengers ahead to his brother Esav in the land of Seir, in the country of Edom." But check out the Hebrew. Vayishlach Yaakov malachim. What? Yaakov didn't just send a postcard. He didn't just send a messenger. He sent malachim. He sent messengers of God. He's sending angels. Yaakov is so tapped into the divine that he's able to ask malachim, angels, to relay a message for him. Even Abraham only sent a worker, Eved, when he sent Eliyahu when he sent his servant, I just blanked on his name, to go find a wife for Yitzchak, he sent Eved. Even Avram wasn't this tapped in. So I felt compelled to dig into more about who Yaakov is as a person. There's this saying about the ebbs and flows of society that bad times create strong men create good times create weak men create bad times, and on and on and on. You get the picture. So I learned this beautiful understanding of Yaakov, that it is just so illuminating to how special this individual actually is. Yaakov has to leave the comforts of his father's tent to go find a wife and to build a family. And it's when he's in a foreign land, when he's working with his uncle Lavan in a very difficult, very tenuous environment, that this is where he builds fortitude and raises a family committed to the values and life that his grandfather and his father have instilled in him. But the world around him is so not easy, and yet when he leaves his uncle Lavan, he has 11 sons and one daughter, and all of them are committed to continuing the family legacy. Yaakov's batting 1,000. Imagine that. He's such an amazing father and a leader that even with all of the distractions, his family remains steadfast, and he figures out a way to repair his relationship with his brother. He protects his family when they are harmed and in harm's way. He gives up his fortune multiple times and then keeps rebuilding it. This man he was remarkable. And in this way, he is constantly, actively pursuing his purpose in life. So much so that this is what prompts his name to be changed by the divine figure with whom he wrestles all night. So this pasuk, this line about the wrestling, look at this line. It says, Ki sirat im Elohim ve'im anashim ve'tuchal. You contend with, you have power, you persist, you exert yourself, you have perseverance with the divine and with the human, and you prevail. Yaakov is so tapped in, he's so dialed in to his existence and to this existence in the world, this nexus. He's living like the stairway dream that he has. He's literally at the intersection between the divine and the mundane, the holy and the mundane, that he's able to instruct angels. I feel almost badly the way that I personified or even characterized Yaakov in last week's Parsha. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing right now, but this made me think about a learning that I'm engaged in right now through a book, through a teaching called Mesilat Yesharim, The Path of the Righteous. And it's written by Rabbi Moshe Lazatu at Ramchal. And in it, he talks about how this whole world, this whole existence, which by the way, I'm paraphrasing here, this whole world, this whole existence is just a corridor for our souls to pass through until we get to dwell with our Creator and to have the ultimate purpose for what our souls have been created, to have a relationship with Hashem, to have a relationship with the divine. And in this world, in this life, the way to build up our souls and to prepare for that relationship is to do the mitzvot, to do the commandments that we learn about in the Torah. So at the simplest level, a person can lead a very meaningful yet simple, like a simple life by just doing the mitzvahs, checking it off the list, doing them so that you are building up this bank account for the world to come where you have a relationship with Hashem. And so in this world, in this life, going through the motions, checking the boxes, doing the mitzvahs, that's still a very meaningful life. One can lead a very, very meaningful life that way. But there's another level, level 2. This is a person who recognizes that we don't have to wait until the next world to have that relationship with Hashem now. There's a way that we can elevate and we can create holiness. We can build that relationship with Hashem in literally everything that we do. That a mitzvah is not just simply an act because we have to do it, but that every single time we engage in a mitzvah, there is an opportunity to bring godliness into the world, to build that relationship and to have that connection. Partially like doing the blessing before studying Torah to elevate the moment, saying a blessing before eating an apple to elevate the apple. Parenthetically, there's a beautiful story of a rabbi who his students were asking him about the level of connection that he has with God. And the way that he explained it was he said to his students, here's how it works. You, my students, will say a blessing in order to eat the apple. I eat the apple so that I can say a blessing. There are ways to build this level of connection with God in everything that we do in this life. That's level 2. But level 3, to get to level 3, this is some Yaakov level engagement. It's to recognize that we are in partnership with Hashem. Hashem created us, B'Tselem Elokim, in his likeness. We have the divine in us. We have an opportunity to unleash that and to bring that into the world. That the mitzvot are just a way towards it. It's guiding us. It's for us to be able to have that relationship. But for people like Yaakov, who are able to tap in, who are able to bring that divine spark out, the Ramchal says, have the ability to literally create in this world. Think string theory on steroids. But like in Newton's laws, everything has an equal and opposite reaction, which means for as powerful as it can be for us to create, we also have the potential to destroy, even with our words. I am going into this Shabbat, reflecting on this Parsha with Yaakov, thinking about what are the things that I can do to be able to build myself closer to a Yaakov level relationship with Hashem. What can I do? Imagine what it would be if I were able to lead a life with such clarity about my purpose, to then take on the responsibility to achieve it, to pursue it with vigor and eyes wide open about the consequences if I don't, to develop the patience to persevere, and to find the joy and the optimism in every element of this life. What an incredible life that would be. Shabbat Shalom.